Hey everyone! In this video, we'll discuss the 2024 Indonesian psychological horror film Grave Torture, written and directed by Joko Anwar, with an IMDb rating of 6.3 stars out of 10. This film is based on Joko Anwar's 2012 Grave Torture short film. Before starting this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. Now let's get into the story. The film is about a family with two children, Sitha and Aadil, who run a struggling bakery. Their uncle suggests sending them to a free boarding school, but their father refuses. Later, customers visit the bakery. One of the men gives Aadil a tape and warns him not to go outside. Meanwhile, some customers try to steal from the bakery. Sitha catches them and warns Aadil and their parents. As their parents confront the thieves outside, a bomb explodes, killing them. At the police station, Aadil realizes from the radio announcement that the bomber is the same person who gave him the tape. As the police question him, Sitha quickly intervenes, stopping Aadil from mentioning the tape. At home, the siblings play the tape and hear disturbing screams, followed by a voice asking, "Who is your God?" In the next scene, Sitha is at her boarding school, where the teacher, Ustadza, teaches the students about grave torture and what happens in the grave. Ustadza tells the students that before Judgment Day, an angel will ask three important questions. Who is your Lord? Who is your prophet? And what is your religion? Those without faith will be punished in the grave. Sitha asks, if people are punished in hell, why are they also punished in the grave? Ustadza explains to Sitha that faith in God means believing in everything in the Holy Book, including punishment in the grave. She says the angel will punish people on Judgment Day based on their fate. Sitha asks, an angel takes our lives, but can someone who fears God can? Ustadza stays silent, unable to answer. Later, Sitha meets her brother Aadil, and they both discuss escaping the village. Aadil says there are two ways out: the main entrance, which is heavily guarded, or an old tunnel that people believe is haunted, with rumors that anyone who enters disappears. Aadil warns Sitha to think carefully, asking, even if they escape, where will they go? But Sitha is determined to leave and find the grave where the bomber recorded the audio, hoping to prove that grave torture isn't real, the belief that caused their parents' death. As they enter the tunnel, the torch goes out and Aadil and Sitha get separated. Sitha meets a strange boy and asks, "Who are you?" He replies in a creepy voice, "I am Ismail." Terrified, Sitha runs out and finds Aadil with the villagers and teacher Ustadza. In the following scene, teacher Umaya replaces Sitha's white headscarf with a red one, explaining it's a test from God, not a punishment, and a reminder that someone cares for her. Sitha cries, thinking of her parents. Teacher Umaya then returns the scarf to white. Sitha asks about Ismail, which makes teacher Umaya uneasy. Just then, teacher Ustadza enters and changes the scarf back to red, reminding teacher Umaya that rules are rules, and Sitha must understand her sin. Later, Mr. Ilham arrives at the school in a car. He owns the school and funds the education for all the children. Sitha is punished and made to read the Holy Book. While reading, she overhears teacher Umaya and Ustadza talking about Mr. Ilham, who they say abuses children. Sitha learns that Ismail, a student, died because of him. Teacher Umaya asks Ustadza which child Mr. Ilham wants next, and Ustadza says he wants Aadil. Sitha, scared, searches for Aadil and finds him at Mr. Ilham's house. She calls to him, but the guards stop her. Ilham takes Aadil into his room. Sitha tries to bribe the guards to save Aadil, but they lock her in a room instead. Sitha escapes through a window with teacher Umaya's help. She finds Aadil in Mr. Ilham's car, distracts the guards, and takes him to a tunnel. Aadil apologizes for not protecting her, but Sitha reassures him and says they must leave the village. She warns him not to trust anyone in the tunnel, as it's just their imagination. Sitha asks Aadil what Mr. Ilham did to him, but he stays silent. Suddenly they hear crying in the tunnel. Sitha feels Aadil's cold hand, and when she turns, she sees Ismail holding her hand. Scared, Sitha runs and finds Aadil sitting, terrified. They both quickly run out of the tunnel and escape. In the next scene, Sitha is now an adult working as a nurse in a nursing home. An old man named Gan dies, and an elderly lady named Juwita tells Sitha that she can see Gan's spirit, who asks her to sing a song. Later, Sitha's co-worker Lani asks her to go to Mr. Wahyu. When Sitha arrives, she finds Wahyu's children there to take him home, but Wahyu refuses to leave the nursing home. He asks Sitha to tell them he needs to stay for a checkup, and she lies to his children saying he has an appointment. After they leave, Sitha tells Wahyu that she won't lie for him again because she doesn't like it. Wahyu tells Sitha that she didn't lie because his checkup is in the afternoon, and then asks her to make some tea. While Sitha goes to make tea, Mr. Wahyu takes a gun from his drawer, unable to control his hand. Later, Mr. Wahyu's children confront Sitha in the kitchen, accusing her of being a gold digger and wanting to marry their father for his money. Sitha responds firmly, and they leave the kitchen angrily. Sitha returns with the tea and finds Wahyu crying and acting like a child. She comforts him, calms him down, and helps him go to sleep. Later, she records a video to track his condition. That night, Sitha watches the videos of Mr. Wahyu and also comes across a TV program discussing how a lack of oxygen to the brain can cause hallucinations, which could possibly explain why some people see ghosts. The next day, Aadil helps wash Gan's body, and together with Sitha, they bury it. Aadil asks if this is the man Sitha had been searching for, but she replies that he isn't, as Gan lived a respectable life. After burying Gan, Aadil tells Sitha that if grave torture exists, it only affects the soul, not the body, which cannot be seen or heard. Sitha disagrees with Aadil, saying both body and soul are tortured according to the holy book. She wants to prove grave torture is a superstition by recording it. Aadil questions her belief, asking what if it's true. He points out that she has been watching the grave for 10 years without hearing any sound from it. Sitha says it's not enough to convince others. She then says she wants to bury a man next to this grave so they can both suffer together, but refuses to tell Aadil who the man is. In the next scene, Sitha sees a news report about the man. It reveals that the grave she had been watching for 10 years belonged to him. The bombers claimed he had recordings of voices coming from his grave. Sitha then falls asleep and dreams about her parents and the events of that day. She wakes up startled. Meanwhile, Adil's wife, Lala, throws him out of the house, saying she wants a divorce because he doesn't spend enough time with her. Sitha hears music from Wahyu's room and finds him crying while watching an old video. When he sees her, he quickly puts the phone down, accidentally starting a new recording. Wahyu asks Sitha about her belief in religion and if she avoids lying out of fear of sin. Sitha says she tells the truth because of her conscience, not fear of sin. Wahyu explains that conscience comes from personal values, not religion, and he feels no guilt or consequences if he outsmarts the law. Sitha asks if he thinks there will be no consequences after death, given his lack of religious belief. Wahyu questions grave torture, saying the body can't feel punishment after death, and wonders why religions focus on punishing the body. Sitha asks if he thinks he can do anything without consequences. Wahyu replies that he does what he wants, acknowledging his actions may go against societal values, but he also does good things. Sitha confronts Wahyu, accusing him of funding a school where students were assaulted. She reveals she was once a student there and her brother was one of his victims, but they escaped. She claims Wahyu has at least 50 victims, including Ismail, who went missing. Sitha asks if he feels guilty for what he did. Wahyu responds that he gave everyone a better chance at life, even the ones Sitha considers victims. Sitha then asks why he disappeared and changed his name, revealing that Wahyu is actually Mr. Ilham. Sitha notices Aadil listening to their conversation. When Aadil sees Wahyu, memories of his past rush back, and in anger, he tries to attack Wahyu, but Sitha stops him. Hearing the commotion, others enter the room, and it's clear Wahyu feels no guilt for his actions. Wahyu tells Sitha he should have given them better lives. Sitha responds that their lives are fine and their purpose is to see if people like him face consequences after death. If not, it would prove religions are just myths. Wahyu explains the worst punishment is what one fears most, and asks Sitha if her biggest fear is that afterlife punishments, like grave torture, turned out to be real. Wahyu shares that his fear is endless confusion, something he experienced due to a condition that made him forget who he was. He decides to end his life to help Sitha achieve her purpose. Aadil cleans Wahyu's body, and they learn that Wahyu's family wants his death kept private, asking the nursing home to handle the funeral. Aadil and Sitha bring Wahyu's body to the cemetery. Sitha enters the grave with Wahyu's body and a camera to record what happens inside. She tells Aadil to stay nearby and manage the oxygen pipe connected to the grave. Aadil asks if Sitha is scared of dying, but she doesn't answer. Aadil closes the grave and sits nearby, while Sitha sets up the camera and eventually falls asleep. In the morning, Aadil helps her out and they review the recording, finding no evidence of grave torture. Aadil asks if she's satisfied, but Sitha says there's more to be done and plans to release the video. Later, Sitha appears on a news show to reveal everything about Mr. Wahyu. She shares that she buried herself in Wahyu's grave and asks the producer to play the recording. However, the video shows something completely different. Sitha suspects the producer switched the memory card, but he insists he played the one she gave him. One of the audience members angrily accuses Sitha of questioning religion and tells her not to speak on it if she doesn't understand. Later, Sitha realizes Aadil switched the memory card and confronts him. During their argument, Aadil accuses Sitha of causing their parents' deaths by telling their father about the thieves, which he believes led to their loss. Sitha replies that she told their father because he never helped her when she asked. She calls Aadil a coward and says she never felt protected by him, even as a child. She explains that everything she did, including recording the video, was for their parents to have peace. Aadil accuses Sitha of only doing things for herself, claiming she's using the people at the nursing home to record a video of a sinner in the grave. Sitha breaks into tears, hurt by Aadil's harsh words. At the nursing home, Sitha hears Wahyu calling her. She goes to check his room. Ms. Nani tells her that her husband, Mr. Pandey, is cheating on her. Sitha finds Mr. Pandey and Nurse Lani in a room together. Mr. Pandey apologizes to Nani, and Sitha suggests Pandey sleep in Wahyu's room for the night. Pandey says Nani shouldn't do things by herself because she's clumsy, but Sitha decides to separate them. Later, Nani accidentally dirties her clothes and goes to wash them in the laundry room. While looking for her ring that she lost, she tries to reach into the washing machine but doesn't find it. As she tries to get out, she accidentally turns on the machine and her hair gets stuck, causing her death. Pandey is devastated when he discovers what happened to his wife, Nani. Later, Sitha goes to see Pandey, and he blames Sitha despite telling her about his wife. Seeing Pandey's condition, Sitha becomes worried. Sitha approaches Mrs. Juwita for help with Mr. Pandey. Believing Juwita can communicate with spirits, Sitha asks if she can speak to Nani so Pandey can find peace. Later, everyone gathers around a table and Juwita instructs them to hold hands and not let go. Juwita then channels Nani's spirit and starts acting like her. Pandey apologizes to Nani, but she demands he harm Nurse Lani, blaming her for their troubles so they can reunite in the afterlife. Sitha tries to intervene, but the others insist she close her eyes, believe, and see with her mind. When Sitha does, she is shocked to see Nani's spirit sitting next to her, which terrifies her. She quickly changes the subject, suggesting they have lunch. Suddenly, Juwita begins speaking in Aadil's voice, urging Sitha to help Ismail. Later, Sitha calls Aadil, but he tells her he's busy with work and hangs up. While working, Aadil hears strange noises as we see a dead body moving. Curious, he goes to check, but is horrified to see a corpse actually moving. Panicked, he tries to escape, but the door locks. Frightened, Aadil hides in his locker, only to be terrified further when two corpses appear near him. In the next scene, Nurse Lani confides in Sitha, explaining that due to her disability, people often ignore her. When Pandey gave her attention, she felt valued. However, Pandey suddenly tries to attack Lani. Sitha intervenes, saving Lani and locking the door from outside, urging her to escape. Mr. Hyde then attacks Lani, and when Sitha tries to call an ambulance, Lani stops her, saying she doesn't want to live anymore. Lani harms herself and dies. Sitha asks Mr. Hyde why he hurt Lani. Mr. Hyde says Lani made a mistake, so he punished her to avoid being tortured in the grave himself, pointing to the television. Sitha learns from the news that some people were influenced by her and recorded the sounds of grave torture. Now, people believe that grave torture is real. Angrily, Sitha shouts, asking why nothing happened to Wahyu if it's true. She goes to the graveyard, opens Wahyu's grave, but finds his body missing. While investigating, she falls into the grave and the ground starts shaking. As she digs, trying to escape, she unexpectedly finds a tunnel, the same one they escaped from as children. Sitha, scared, runs and finds Aadil crying, but soon realizes he's not real. She continues searching and stumbles upon a bakery where a thief is stealing money, but she lets him go and finds her parents, who seem to be saying goodbye. Afterwards, she encounters ghost children asking her to help Ismail. Confused, Sitha remembers Juwita saying that to see ghosts, she must believe in them. Sitha closes her eyes. Sitha sees the ghost children again, asking her to help Ismail. She finds Ismail in human form and asks what he's afraid of. Ismail points to Wahyu crawling above them. They run, and Ismail tells her to jump into a hole to escape. Sitha hesitates, but when Wahyu gets closer, she jumps in after Ismail, who thanks her. Sitha wakes up beside Wahyu's body in his grave and screams for Adil's help. Suddenly, a snake enters through an oxygen pipe and goes into Wahyu's mouth. His body comes to life, screaming in pain. Terrified, Sitha tries to record it as Wahyu is tortured by snake bites and a devil questioning, "Who is your God?" Overwhelmed, Sitha pleads for God's forgiveness. The grave then begins to collapse. Aadil suddenly opens the grave and saves Sitha. Weak and struggling, they try to escape the graveyard. Sitha then hears a voice asking, "Who is your Lord?" Next, Wahyu's video plays on his phone, but Nani turns off the phone as Pandi tells her to come to bed. The movie ends. As the film doesn't clearly tell us what happens, it strongly hints that Sitha may not survive. The angel's question is often asked in the afterlife, where souls are judged after death. Could this be the moment where her soul faces the consequences of rejecting faith? So what do you think? Was Sitha saved, or did she really die in the grave? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this. See you in the next one.